What's up, awesome people? This is Tommy Tan with Double H Impact Fitness. So I'm here with Michael Buckley. Thank you for being on the show, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Michael is a NASM personal trainer locally here in New York City, and definitely a great person to be your coach in terms of personal training. Mike, just want to start off. Tell us about you growing up as a person, as a kid.
Okay. I was not athletic. I was
Really
not into sports. I was the last kid picked for gym class. I was that kid. I was before I was a trainer, I was an actor. So I was a theater kid. I was one of the drama kids, right? So I didn't play. I wasn't the captain of my football team in high school. I was like the lead in the high school musicals.
What?
I was that guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we had a drama king.
Right. And this is like before there was Glee, and it was like cool to be like it was, you know. Now everyone like is like a self-proclaimed like proud thing. Oh, I'm a nerd. Like I was not a self-proclaimed nerd. I was proclaimed a nerd by everybody else.
Wow.
I was that kid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually discovered fitness because my first professional acting job, I was cast as Danny Zuko in Grease, and contingent upon me getting cast, they said I needed to start working out for the part. So it was actually kind of fear-based because I was just afraid I was going to lose my job. So all right.
Cast in Grease. That's it.
Okay. I actually discovered fitness because my first professional acting job, I got cast as Danny Zuko in Grease.
Wow.
And I was told that I needed to start working out for the part. So it was actually kind of inspired by fear, my fitness, my discovery of fitness, because I was just afraid I was going to lose the job. So I started really simple. I had a set of dumbbells. I was doing a routine where it was like one exercise for each major body part group.
So you working out at home?
I was working out in the dressing room. And the guy that played Kaneki actually had, he worked out. He knew what he was doing. He was like a high school football player before he became an actor. So he showed me a few things, and I just did that for the duration of the show. I would just get to the theater early and just work out in my dressing room before the show every day. And it started there, and then once the show was over, now I'm hooked. Right now, I love it. I've got renewed confidence, and I think because I wasn't a natural athlete, as far as I saw it, I thought, oh, that's just something I don't do. I'm just not physically capable of doing that sort of thing. Because I kind of discovered it late, it actually affected the rest of my life, because you start to realize, hey, I just had this idea that this wasn't something that I could do or that I'd be good at. And when you realize that, no, I'm just as capable as anybody else, you start to realize that the limits that you place on yourself in all the areas of your life are self-imposed.
Definitely true. Tell me how, starting from like just getting to shape, now you become a fanatic, and all of a sudden you switch from acting to going to being a personal trainer full time. Oh, by the way, he's also a wrestler, announcer. Check him out on Instagram.
Shout out to Capital Wrestling.
Capital Wrestling. So tell us how you transitioned from becoming an actor to committing full time to be a personal trainer.
Okay. So I had, for less than a year of my life, I had like a job, where like you go into an office and you have a boss.
Oh yeah,
you sit at a desk and all that stuff. You have meetings. You go to a meeting where you mostly talk about what you talked about in the last meeting. Then there's like maybe 2 items of new information, and then you just start talking about, well, what can we meet again, right? And I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. So I knew I wanted to get out of that. I knew it wasn't working for me. It really was. I was told that I would have flexibility for auditions and stuff like that, but it really was kind of not that flexible. And really was kind of messing with the acting stuff. So I knew I wanted to quit, and then I had a friend who was also an actor, and I went to his apartment, and he lived by himself, which in New York, if you're an actor and you live by yourself,
pretty good.
You made it. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, dude, I know you don't have a recurring role on the TV show, what are you doing? You know, that you have this nice apartment on Central Park and that you don't have 3 roommates, right? Like, you know, we're in our late 20s. You don't have 3 roommates. That's, you know, you're living the life, man. So no, I'm a personal trainer, and I'm an independent trainer. I work for myself, and I make my own hours so I can go to auditions. And I thought, I work out. I need to do that. And it was that shallow. It was literally that shallow. Like, this guy's got a nice apartment, and I like working out, so I can do that. And it started as that, and then once I discovered it, you know, it started as this survival job, so I could go to auditions and stuff, and I absolutely fell in love with it, and it became my thing. I remember I was like waiting to audition for a commercial, and I was worried about getting back for my next training session on time. And they always say if there's anything else that you can do and enjoy it, you should. And I just realized, you know, I think I would rather be working with my client than waiting to audition for this Sprite commercial. So that's where I kind of made the swap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how hard was it in the beginning to start getting clients?
So I started with one client. She worked out five days a week. Right? I was living off savings from the job. I got decent severance.
Nice.
So I was living off that. So I started with one, and then it just kind of grew out with referrals. And by the end of the year, I had a fully functioning business. And I think it's one of those things where this is a lesson about business that I think is also a lesson that I try to impart to my clients about the gym and about fitness. It's good to have an idea of where you want to go. So I knew I wanted to build a business. I knew I wanted to be successful. But I didn't, you know, I had an idea of the big picture, but I was able to just kind of put my head down and learn everything I could and become really good at what I was doing. And I think that, you know, before you start thinking about like, oh, how am I going to brand myself? How am I going to market this? I think what you have to focus on first and foremost is just excelling in whatever it is that you are committing to.
Yeah,
right? And taking it like day by day and step by step, rep by rep, workout by workout, week by week. And you will get to where you want to go, but you know, it's the only thing you can do to just ensure that you're not also like constantly comparing yourself to like the end point, right?
Yeah.
And that's what creates sustainability.
And that's why I respect people like you, unlike the gym bros you guys see on YouTube, where, you know, they may have a great vocabulary of words, but
Right.
at the end of the day, they really do not know what they're doing for the clients. You know, it's more of a generic content that they show to their clients, where Michael here actually personalized a lot of the programs for his clients. Tell me, ideally, what is your fitness program about for your clients?
Okay, so it's strength and conditioning based, right? So everybody does strength training, everybody. Male, female, young, old, skinny, somebody that wants to drop some pounds, somebody that's already in shape, you know, people that are training for something that's sports specific. Everybody does some element of strength training, because no matter what it is that you want to do, if it involves movement, it involves your muscles, right? So
Exactly.
so that's like the basis of everything. Along those lines, I also do a lot of stabilization training, a lot of mobility, right? Because those well-developed muscles don't mean a damn thing if you're totally immobile, right? So there's always that component, and I try and make it fun and vary it. So that one of the biggest things.
That's good. And you also do a nutritional program for your clients as well, right?
Yeah. So it's not a meal plan. It's not here's exactly what you do. It's actually also very highly customized. So we go through what does a week look like? What time do you wake up? What's the first time you eat? What's the next time you eat after that? What is that? Even things like, you know, if it's someone in New York and we all live on takeout and delivery, what's by your office? What are the places by your office?
Yes.
Where do you, where do you order from? If you order lunch, what's the situation in the break room at your office? And we go through and make a grocery list. And I don't put items on the list that, yeah, kale may be a superfood, but if you're not going to eat it, let's not put it on the list.
That's sweet.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, because you're, if you hate kale and you've got some ice cream in the freezer, guess what you're not going to eat?
That is so true. That is definitely true. And I think a lot of people have that misconception when they look at nutritional guidelines, especially online again, that it's a more generic program in place.
It's less about specifically what to eat and more about the way to eat.
That is so true. And that's where somebody like you come in handy. And, people always underestimate what a personal trainer can bring to the table. They think, hey, I'm going to wake up, I got to see Mike at 5, 6 in the morning, get my workout, I'm done, I'm good. Doesn't end there, right?
No, it's kind of like if you have, if you have a therapist, right? If you're in therapy, there's the hour that you spend with your therapist, and that's, supposed to be like help you get your stuff in order.
Yeah.
But you have to apply whatever tactics you learn in that hour, or whatever discoveries self-realizations you come to in that hour. You have to apply them the entire rest of the week, or you're not doing yourself any favors. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that. And I'm big on accountability. So even for my online clients, I think the customization, I think, is important, obviously, because it's so personalized. But the thing that I think the single most effective component of those programs is such a little thing, and that's we schedule, so they get 3 workouts a week. We schedule all those workouts, so I know when they're going to be working out, so I know when they're supposed to be finished, and they have to just text me after they're done.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that accountability, and if I don't hear from them, I'll give a little bit of wiggle room. If I don't hear from you, it's 2 hours after you should have finished your workout. I'll very gently nag you. Hey man, what happened? Yeah.
And also, in terms of workout, we talked about intensity.
Right.
A lot of beginners, if you're a beginner, definitely you don't have to go into the most intense workout.
Right.
Is that correct, Mike?
That is absolutely correct. Yeah, so I have had a variation on this conversation so many times. Somebody calls me and they're interested in starting an exercise program. So we'll, I'll answer all their questions. They decide they want to hire me. We start going through what their programs look like. So we'll work together 3 days a week. And then, maybe I'll run the 2 days during the week that we're not meeting. And then I'm going to take a yoga class on Saturdays. And you know what? I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to give myself Sundays off. And I'll say, oh, well, that's very ambitious. What are you doing now? I'll say, nothing. Okay, all right. Let's start with those 3 days a week. All right, and I'm going to give you your first fitness goal right now. And that's for the first month that we're working together. You don't blow off any of those workouts. 3 days a week. And that's your first thing, is just to show up so we can lay the foundation. We're going to create the habit. We're going to create the consistency. And it should be a successful program should be appropriate for your fitness level, should be appropriate for your health and injury history, should be appropriate for, you do have to consider the wants and desires of the client, of course. Are you more focused on weight loss? Are you a softball player and you're looking for some sport-specific training, right? For example. So that's a consideration also, but the appropriateness, and it should be progressive. It should progress at an appropriate rate, and I think people are often surprised. So a lot of times the first time, they're almost like, oh, I thought that would be a lot harder. And then they, text me the next day and they're like, I'm so sore, and it's because, we've got to establish a baseline before I start just completely destroying every time. That's coming. That's down the road. The good news and bad news with that is, as you get stronger, the workouts get harder. Right?
So true. I remember the first time I started working out, I played baseball in college, and then took 2 years off, just not doing anything. And I decided, hey, you know what? Let me join a gym. Let me get back to working out. And my buddy Ricky, who's a gym bro, got me on the pyramid workout my first day. where we're doing like, it was 21s. So we're doing reps of 21 sessions and then doing a countdown and building it back up.
Right.
And I was sore for the next like 2-3 weeks.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I could not go to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
And that's been a problem with a lot of beginners that I know. It's just like they go really gun-ho in the gym and they'll disappear. They'll quit.
They'll burn out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, so you know the expression, can't skip leg day, bro, right?
Yes.
So why did so many guys hate leg day? In all seriousness, it's because they start, if somebody doesn't lay the foundation correctly, right? And they start with somebody that's like, we're just gonna squat heavy, we're gonna deadlift heavy, we're gonna do, weighted lunges with tons of weight, we're gonna do calf raises with 345-pound plates on the seated bench, and that's where they're starting. Yeah, of course, you're not gonna be able to walk for 3 days, because that's completely inappropriate for somebody that's just starting. Not to mention, you're not building all of the stabilizing muscles, right? And also, if you're not, I can't tell you how many people have come to me that have been working out for years that will say things like, I don't get it, I must have super strong hamstrings because my quads always get sore, but my hamstrings never get sore. Come to find out, well, yeah, you've been squatting incorrectly for your entire life, right? Which is not your fault, because no one's born knowing how to do this stuff. So it's not that your hamstrings are so strong that you don't feel it. It's that they're actually completely untouched and undeveloped. Your quads are totally overactive.
That is so true. Now, tell me, what's on the horizon for you? You have a book coming out soon, too?
I do, yeah. So it's a book for a lot of my clients are people that are hiring me because they need the accountability. They need to like bribe somebody to show up somewhere so that they'll actually do the work, right? And then luckily I also kind of know what I'm doing, so there's that additional benefit. But a lot of it is just that accountability. So it's a starter exercise book, but it's not just about the things that you need to do to start. It's about how can you start in a way where it's going to be sustainable, start to sustain, right? So some of that is it's not even so their workout. There's a workout component. Beginner workouts in the back of the book, but a lot of it is also just common sense stuff, right? Like about how can you actually find the time? How can you incorporate this into your life? We're all busy. We all have a million other things. You're not going to quit your job or give your kids up for adoption, or leave your spouse so you can start working out. So how do you make it so it's actually going to be a habit? How do you sustain it?
That's going to be exciting. So definitely look out for his book. Want to thank you for being on the show, Mike. One last thing, Mike. Can you show people that are just beginners that want to get into working out some basic exercises?
Sure.
Awesome. So we're going to give you some basic exercises from the real Buckley here. Hope you enjoy that. And definitely, when you guys get a chance, if you have any questions, you could, again, his contact is going to be on a link below, so hit him up there.
I always have people start with is a pike.
Okay.
Right, so they're gonna find the push-up kind of. So you start here, and then you want to come so that your chest is just over the bench. And right here. Also, how I had them into a plank. Starts on the plank. Forward, when they're not rounded at all. And then super tight, and I have them drop down on the forearms. And if that's fine, we'll move it all to the ground. So, from the pike. Good. And it's tight. Same thing for finding the plank. From pike, all the way nice long, belly button's back toward the vertebrae. People often, this is like the to-go-to
On the tricep.
hand positioning on the tricep dip. Don't do that. First of all, you're placing your shoulders too far forward, so you're recruiting the shoulders in a way that you don't want to. Also, you are internally rotating, you're bringing the lats in by doing that, and you're cutting off the chest. So what I do is I have people go flat out like this, keep it close to the thighs, right? That's positioning right outside the thighs. And then another big mistake is these people, they're all the way out here, right? So when you see someone banging out like hundreds of dips like this, and they're just like kind of humping in the air, they are not doing it correctly. So back here, you almost want like your tailbone, like it's almost like touching the back of the bench or whatever it is you're using. So you're up nice and tall, chest is forward, it's down like so, and then it's up all the way up. You don't want to lock, and you want a full extension in the tricep.
So low. Yeah.
To work up to a pull-up, you want to grab a bar. You want this, where when you pull yourself up, it's gonna be underneath the chest. So you're using the back, right? If you have the core strength to do it, best with like the legs straight out, like so. Right, and then as long as you don't bring your pelvis too far forward, you need to. You can put some bend in the knees. Or belt stance, wider than shoulder width. This is the start. Using toes forward. Chest is up, torso is elongated. Belly button back toward the vertebrae. Nice tight core. Chest is first. So whatever, even from the beginning, hips are just slightly back. You always think of squats as up and down. Really, the focus should be on back and forth. Yes, you're going to get lower to the ground, but it should be happening because your hips are moving backward, right? You're going to lay the point where you bend the knees. You're going to bend the knees because you absolutely have to in order to facilitate the movement of the hips back. All right. Chest up. Then a slightly harder version. Hands back. Prisoner squats. Arms out in front, legs straight back behind. You want to think about your belly button is attached to the floor, the bench, the table, whatever surface you're on. You're just going to raise the upper body, lower body at the same time. And you want to get your arms up as high as possible. So one of the things I tell people is look down. So they take the neck out of it, so they're going to strain their neck. Look down and try and get your arms back behind the ears, like above the ears, you know what I mean? is engaged, even in the neutral, in the starting position, core is totally engaged. And you're just gonna reach, opposite arm, opposite leg. Chest is up, shoulders back and down, right? And then they're gonna lean back. And as they do so, their arms are just gonna kind of like come out. So they need to go as far back as they can without compromising this form. Then a slight hold. 3, 2, 1. And just back up to sit. So for people that can't do a sit up, it's a sit back. It's the same thing. When they move back, this area around here, for people that aren't already in shape, the entire core starts like shaking and pulsating because you are engaging the entire thing all the way around. This is a really small range of motion, super effective though. Advanced. So that's some of the basics, some great foundation to get started. Even that, just doing those few exercises every other day, 3 to 4 times a week, it's a great place to start. If you are looking for more, I am available for customized programs, both online and in person. Just find me at buckleybodysolutions.com or on Instagram at @therealbuckley.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching our first episode with Michael Buckely here. Thank you for being our guest.
So glad to be here.
You could follow us at HHimpact_NYC and also shop for our merchandise at www.hhimpact.com. Peace out, people.